That's not a bad record, but obviously she's stepping up quite a lot here to play against current world's best player, the umpire Alison Lang, who had quite a busy time at Roland Garros. She was around at quite a few of the matches that saw. And Carlos Rodriguez, whom Henin says she has to have there. He's been her coach for 11 years. That's a heck of a long time, since the age of 14.
He's been really her coach, her family, her support system. She really had a few family struggles over the years, but it was really special to see her siblings at that French Open final and sharing that joy with her. It actually brought a tear to my eye, because I could see that it was so special for Justine to be able to share that with them. They hadn't really been back together for 7 years.
No, that was an all brought about by the fact that one of her brothers was involved in a car accident and was in danger at one stage. And her younger sister sent a message to Justine, and she went to the hospital, and the family reunited. That's the Argentine getting this first round match underway.
50 love. Love.
Nice start from Cruvero.
Very clear how she wants to play. And now we'll change things around a bit, I suspect, as the match develops. Well, that's a little bonus for her.
That's got to feel good, because you know the thought went through her head at least one time. I don't want to get bageled against Justine. I won't want maybe a 6-love set, or possibly even 6-love, 6-love. She's 117 in the world. Justine at number 1, so much more experience. So that's a good feeling to get that game on the board. She's really driving that forehand. It's good to see.
Justine Henin to serve. Love.
Oh, the number 1 seed with a point on the board.
Love.
Umbrella's starting to come out.
Love.
Can't play very long with the rain starting to come down, because the court will get very slippery.
That's a fine return, and clearly that is a forehand to enjoy.
Corvero coming through the qualifying, so 3 matches under her belt.
Tough matches too. Still a few umbrellas up.
40-30.
Doesn't matter what you're ranked, you're always a little more nervous in that first match of a Grand Slam. New surroundings. Obviously,
umpire
Justine's, excuse
sorry.
me, played on this court many times, but new surroundings from your last tournament.
Game is Anand.
Well, I wonder whether they might now come off. They've come off on the centre court. I thought it was a case of Alison Lang wanting them to complete the game.
Ladies and gentlemen, players suspended.
Yes, here we go. And on comes the cavalry charge. Big contrast this from Roland Garros, where they always seem to take their time, but of course the problem is very different. And they can go straight over the net there, and not such a disaster if the rain comes down on the court and the clay. Pretty quick.
Corvero quickly had to move to her right and get off the grass. She was going to get covered up by the cover.
Yes, that's amusing, but it could actually be rather nasty, couldn't it?
I love how they move the umpire off with her right in the chair. Everything must go quickly. Obviously at the French, the clay can soak up more of the water. Any bit of moisture on this surface makes it very slippery for the players. Very dangerous.
Well, I don't want to be too harsh on them, but I think the forecasters have not got everything right this afternoon. Because originally they said we wouldn't have play until 5, and instead of that we had play about 2.5 hours earlier. Now we've got to 10 past 5 and we're off because of rain. Who'd be a weather forecaster?
It's a very difficult job.
Get the seaweed out, that's the only way, you know. Yes, well, bit of improvisation. The walkie-talkies have been used rather a lot. Now apparently no problems, and we can continue with the match, which at the moment stands at 1 game all in the first set after, as you see, 4 minutes of play.
Rivera serve. Play.
And Miss Clavero get us underway again. That's very nice. She does not lack for confidence.
15 love.
Good variety from Corvero. Mentioned that her favorite surface is clay, so you would suspect that she would have a good drop shot.
It's the first point against her serve.
Justine Henin has some tape on her right ankle.
Beautiful play by Henin. The way she picked up the low ball. Real depth.
Yeah, this slice stays down low. And Henin just gets down below it with her racket head and brushes up.
Carlos Rodriguez with the cap. contour of the player near camera. Once but not twice in the game. And here is the first break point of the match. An early break for the would-be champion. This is the only Grand Slam that she hasn't won. Been in the final twice, semi-final twice. And it was harder second time around for Jorgelina Crivero.
You know, it's very difficult for a player like Crivero to go out there ranked 117 in the world, playing #1 player in the world, and you just don't know what level you need to play at. We just saw Kadave, who just almost took out Martina Hingis, and she said that she was playing above her normal level. So you just don't know whether you need to go for bigger shots than normal. I mean, I suggest for players like this that are not used to this experience, play your own game at first. You know that you need to do a lot with the ball, but don't try for too much too soon. And see how it goes before you try to ramp up the level.
Yes, the Argentine's been around a lot, but not at this top level.
Not much time for a big backswing on that return.
Please switch off all mobile telephones. (30-15).
The light is not the easiest. Sun coming and going.
Actually, just all even like this that they're playing with right now is probably the easiest. It's tougher when it's shaded and you have those shadows. Forehand from Crivero. She used that nicely in the first game as well.
30.
She says that her best shot is her backhand, but I quite like that forehand. She gets down to the shot nicely and uncoils with that upper body.
Need the cap at the beginning. She does now.
Just sails over the head of Justine Henin, out of her reach.
And chance for an immediate break back.
all first set.
Striking the ball very cleanly. Some good pace and accuracy.
That's a really good response.
This is where it gets tough for Justine when the ball is coming out of the shade and into the sun.
15 love.
One thing I like is the attitude from Crivero. Seems very positive, has that quiet fist pump. You want to see that belief. You don't want to see them completely overwhelmed mentally by just walking on the court with the world number one.
Because she's a mature lady, she's 25. And had a lot of success on the ITF circuit, the one beneath the tour.
40 love.
It's rather rushed.
It's about her 9th year on the tour. It's only her 2nd Grand Slam. Boy, she spent a lot of time in those ITF tournaments.
Next for service.
She's got 1 out of 3, hasn't she?
I don't know about that drop shot. You consider that a drop shot?
That's what she was trying, shall we say.
Approach shot for Justine.
Gift.
Deuce.
Second double. She's gone from 40 love to deuce. Deuce incidentally for the first time.
Advantage is Anna.
Probably due to a combination of nerves and a real respect for the Anna return a serve.
Game is Anna.
He'll be pleased, but tell me, Tracy, what does that tell us about the Argentine from 40 love and playing really well? She really rather threw that game away, didn't she?
She did, but at the same time, you have Justine and out the other side of the court. You know that Justine is not going to give you any birthday presents, no gifts. Justine brought her game in a bit, didn't take as many risks. As a top player, you know that it's going to be tough for Cruveiro to finish that game off. So you want to make sure that she hits a lot of balls. Cruveiro threw in that gift of a couple of double faults as well. And the top players, when they get down a game point, whether it's on their own serve or their opponent's serve, not so much when you're playing a Mauresmo or a Serena Williams, but when you're playing someone ranked outside the top 100, you realize I can pull my game back just a little, and I'll probably still be able to win the points due to lack of experience on my opponent's part.
Fifteen love. 15 love.
That's a first. Ah, delicious. Absolutely delicious.
30 love.
Big serve, and one of the few players that has the capability of hitting that drop volley perfectly.
Well, she'd have been caught behind in another game. She got just a touch on that.
She did. Touched it slightly with the bottom of her racket. I didn't see so much a bad bounce. It was the spin that she didn't read.
Games and then leads 4 games to the set.
So this time, no mistakes. But if I may, I'd like to disagree with the statisticians, because they've given that second one as an ace, and there was a clear touch of the ball. So a bit of pressure now on Cruveiro.
Love 15.
You've got to wonder if any chance at all is now gone. She had that opportunity at 2-all, 40 love on her serve. She was striking the ball quite cleanly, with confidence, trying to dictate play. Lost that game, and Justine has raised the level of her play. You just let the shoulders loosen up a little bit, Justine, now. That little
First service.
edge in the score.
2-4, love 30. It's all about nerves, what's going on between the ears.
No. 15-30.
And with a very positive approach, even if that one was long. Seeking to dominate the rallies and doing so pretty successfully.
break points on such great depth and power from Justine Henin. Rivero is not used to seeing that on a consistent basis in a point. You might play against some players in the ITF circuit who have one shot like that, but not three in a row like that.
Oh, call from the chair. She may... No, she may not
30-40.
decide to dispute that. Well, let's see whether she made the right decision. Yes, she did make the right decision not to dispute it. Still break point.
Deuce.
Oh, well, saving 2 points lift her.
Advantage is Rivero. Game. New balls plays. And that leads 4 games to 3 first set.
Ah, she did well there, digging herself out of a hole that she'd been really rather forced into by the quality of her opponent's play. Interesting to me, as we look at the very much less experienced player, is that Henin, she's saying that this year she's going back to Wimbledon of last year. She's now wanting to get forward more in her approach. And we've seen that in a couple of occasions here, that she can play a real grass court game.
She knows that she plays her best when she is aggressive. Even on the clay, she has an aggressive attitude. It's all about the mentality and how you're trying to finish points off. But Justine has the ability to finish a lot of points off at the net, particularly on grass. So she's going to try to attack the returns, which we have a great position in the commentary box to see that she really moves forward and propels her body forward when she's returning, trying to come up with some big serves. Very aggressive play.
4-3.
Love.
Massive forehand from Cravero. She really just accelerates that racket head. Great shoulder turn. She's, for the most part, not playing like a player ranked 117, and maybe it's those 3 qualifying matches that she won. Really had to help her confidence. She went after her shots.
Suddenly 2 break points against her. Can she do better than Henin, who turned aside 2 in the last game?
30-40.
.68% success on the first serve. That is a stronger weapon too.
Serve is bigger weapon. Forehand as well from Enna.
Advantage, Miss Anand.
This nasty low slice is so handy to have on grass. It just stays so low. It's tough to come up with a decent pass. Just where she wanted that volley.
Game, Miss Anand. Miss Anand leads 5-3, first set.
So Cravero serving to stay in this first set, but maybe doing Anand a few favours here because she's hitting the ball pretty hard, the Argentine, and sharpening up the number 1 seed's game in the process.
Lex, first service. Love 15.
Rivero's first service percentage now dipping down to 30%. First serves in. She needs to get that up to at least 65, particularly against someone like Enna.
Love 30.
Oh, unlucky.
Miss Rivero was challenging the call on the right baseline. The ball was called out.
Was she or was she not unlucky? Certainly worth her challenge of the call. Called out. And it was out. So not only did she lose the call, but she now faces 3 set points.
Justine Enna constantly looks at her coach in the stands, looking for encouragement.
And to serve.
Oh, she openly admits she needs him. As she puts it, I'm that sort of person. I need somebody there.
Beauty.
15 love.
Rivero gets jammed on this return, does a nice job to get it down low. But that's a spectacular drop shot from Justine Enna.
Love.
Now is Justine Enna going to run away with the second set quickly? So often happens.
Stopped in her tracks.
30-15.
I like this return of serve. Short backswing. Doesn't have time to move the feet. Really leans into it.
40-30. Deuce.
She looked up at the umpire but did no more, you know.
Looked wide from here, and also you will see a lot of players trying to get an indication from their coach or family member in the stands whether they should challenge or not.
Advantage, Miss Anand.
Ah, classic.
Second set. First set, Miss Anand.
It's probably warmer now than it has been any time in the day, at least for those who are in the sunshine, which is mainly the far corner as we look. Adjustment of the cap. Serving to the deuce court is the most difficult test for the receiver.
Love 15.
A little bit off balance then.
A little slice made the ball scoot at her. She was not quite ready, a little late. Point of contact a little bit behind her.
Love 13.
This is where the doubts start to creep in. You know, for each shot, you have to figure out, am I going to hit a slice? Am I going to hit a top spin? Do I go for it? Do I pull back a little, try to stay in the point a little longer? You're playing against a top player who just seems to be getting better with each game. The doubts creep in.
You should be grateful for that.
Perfect execution. And for a little sharper angle.
15-14.
Gets Crovero out of position, and instead of hitting it deep, adds more topspin.
30-14.
One break point saved.
Justine's probably thinking, I hate returning on that side. The sun's so difficult. Next time around, it'll probably be gone.
Deuce.
See the sun illuminating her face. Adjustment of the peak of the cap.
Advantage, Miss Anand.
Third chance for a set and two love.
Deuce.
Rivero frequently serving to that Justine in a forehand. I don't know if she's just more comfortable with serving to that side or whether Justine's producing a few errors, so she's doing it on purpose.
Looking to put her in the sun again.
A little too tricky.
And she didn't need to. I mean, she had the whole court that she could have put that away, but she wasn't quite there, was she?
She wasn't, and just not quite as comfortable as she would need to be. You know, Justine probably would have put this ball away into the forehand corner of her opponent or hit a drop volley with precision. But Quivero, more of a clay quarter, not that comfortable around the net.
Fourth break point.
Game is Anna. Anna leads the last second set.
Understandably looking rather disappointed. In the end, having saved 3, giving it away on the fourth.
Love 15.
It's not a surprise to see a player hit off the frame these days. They take such big swings at the ball now, particularly at on grass where the ball bounces a little lower.
15 all. Out. 15-30.
You can see how close her coach, Carlos Rodriguez, is. She looks up at him almost after every single point.
Let's the service.
Well played.
These are some monstrous strokes that she came up with. Great power, precision. Finishes it off with a swinging volley.
With which she's more comfortable, that's for sure. Couple of chances. Second serve.
Deuce.
Little smile.
She knows she had a good opportunity there. She was on balance. Really could choose her side, but just missed it.
Let's the service. Advantage, Miss Anand. Again, Miss Anand. Miss Anand leads 3 games to love, second set, and by 1 set to love.
And her quality of serving in the end deciding the game.
And just to go back to that forehand that Crivero had at break point, you just don't get that many opportunities against a top player, and that's where you really got to capitalize and execute. And it's tough when you haven't had that much experience. Crivero, 25 years old, but only in her second Grand Slam, so it's something that's tough to do. Whereas on the other side of the court, Justine Henin-Ardenne, when she gets down a break point, more often than not gets that first serve in. Her focus becomes a little sharper, a little bit more intense, raises the level of her game a notch. And that's something special, to have that ability to handle the nerves and actually raise the level of your game.
And there's a tendency when the opportunities come playing against a player of this quality, you try too hard. I mean, she went for too much on that forehand and put it out, and it was a...
And that's understandable. It's probably due to the respect of the foot speed of a Justine Henin-Ardenne. I said Ardenne, excuse me, Justine Henin. I knew I was going to do that at some point. Justine, who did not play Australia because she was separating and then got a divorce from her husband.
No.
Love 15.
What a fun point. Measures the lob perfectly and then gets out of the way with a little drop volley, just long on Crivero's lob.
Love 13.
Carlos Rodriguez is gone. He's not up there. He must have needed a bathroom break, personal break.
15-30.
Empty seat.
The ball boy at the back slipped.
Played.
The
part of the court that stays greasy and a little more slippery for a longer period of time is outside the playing surface, where you'll see a player run to hit a passing shot. That's why that ball kid just slipped.
Surprising this from Anna. She actually stopped and realized that she'd got herself totally where she didn't want to be.
Crivero has been in so many of these games where she's had points to convert her serve, points to break. She's had 5 break points. It's only converted on 1.
They've all come at bad times. Chance for the double break.
Games. Anna. Anna leads 4 games to love, second set.
Well, the Argentine would come off this court thinking, well, there are times when I played quite well, but quite clearly I didn't play well enough, consistently, often. For love.
15 love.
Particularly on the ad points. I will say, for someone playing only her second Grand Slam, I think she's played quite well. She's tested Justine. Not saying it's over, but it looks like it's going towards that direction. And what a great experience for Corvero. I think it has to give her some confidence to see that she is in most of the points against the number 1 in the world, just herself.
Out 40 love. Game. And then leads 5 games to love, second set, number 1 set to love.
That's Anna's first love game. You notice on the scoreboard there it said Miss J. Anna. In Roland Garros they kept calling her Madame Anna.
Something that's tough to get used to,
Yeah.
taking away that hyphenated name. It's like Chris Everett Lloyd. You had to get used to Chris Everett again.
Yes. And Hayden Jones for a while, going back a little bit further. And Carlos has returned to the scene of what's going to be triumph is perhaps too strong a word, but of success for his charge, who's had such a turnaround. I mean, her divorce in December, her makeup with her family around the time of Roland Garros, following a car accident, one of her brothers that brought the family together, and fortunately was not as serious as his first thought.
So many emotions off court, but the Hague has been the tennis court.
Love 15.
Reminds me of Steffi Graf a little bit, whether she was coming back from an injury or her father's personal issues or tax problems, whatever it was. As soon as she stepped on the court, she seemed to be able to concentrate so well.
The length is so immaculate.
Love 13.
Well, quite a little while ago with the rain breaks, Tracy, you were talking about the fact that Treviero opening her service game, the opening game of the match, to love, and would immediately know she wasn't going to be bageled. She's in danger here of having a love second set.
Oh, spectacular. Such soft hands.
Love 14.
Great get from Corvero. This ball was behind Justine Henin. People are going to look at the papers and see 3 in love. And say, oh, that wasn't a match that was too hard. It's actually much harder than that scoreline.
Games the match. It's an 2 sets to love. 6-3, 6 love.
One or two things to discuss, apparently. Had a good start for Justine Henin. And part of her will be grateful that she was made to work a little harder at times than she might have expected. Had to dig herself out of a few problems. And at times was absolutely exquisite.
Very solid match from Justine Henin. 55 minutes. I'm sure at some point today she was worried about getting this match underway, and then once it was underway, finished. That's a good feeling. And Crivero, even though she's lost, she's got to feel that she's had a good Wimbledon, getting through the qualifying, a couple of 3-setters, and really testing just